Now it's time for Tarja Teppo of Cleantech Invest. Welcome back to Ecosummit, Tarja.
Thank you. Okay, thanks. Alrighty. First of all, it's nice to be here again. I know that we're running a little late on the schedule, so I try to be rather concise. And I was thinking that, what should the story be so that there would be sort of a takeaway for everybody here in the audience. And what I thought was, first of all, we're an early stage investor. We're located in Helsinki, Finland. We look at the Nordic market. But because here's investors here, there's corporate investors here, there's other startups, there's industrials here, corporates. So what I would like to all of you to get out of this is that maybe you find a startup that you get interested in, sort of investment-wise, or you want to team up with this, you want to access the Nordic market and so forth. So I try to sort of now a little bit sort of give an overview who we are, what we do, so that there would be as possibly many here that would sort of come and talk with me after this presentation. Here shortly the team. So we are 4 partners, and you might have seen Bigge here earlier today, so he's member of the board. We've been around almost 10 years. So the company was founded 2005. I'm the other one of the co-founders. First we did advisory, then we raised a small fund around late 2009, started investing 2010. Turned it into a investment company beginning of 2013. So we are investing from the balance sheet. So we've done a couple of private placements, and now part of the we listed the company in the First North Helsinki this summer. So part of the investment company is sort of publicly floating. So we have several shareholders. We have 600 shareholders. But we operate as a VC fund, so we have a majority of the voting rights. So we have a portfolio of 13 companies, so Finnish and Swedish cleantech companies. And the last point here, this probably is sort of only the ones that are from Finland or from the other Nordic countries have heard about the Vigo program. But this is basically that there's a fair amount of grants and soft loans and other sort of public money available in the Nordics to promote cleantech startups. And we operate what is called a Vigo accelerator. So when we do an equity investment, so we're able to bring 1 million euros of grants on top of that investment. So we get sort of leverage for the investment, which is great for the entrepreneur and great for us because it doesn't dilute. That's just a little bit of our background, but I won't go in detail the global challenges. This is something that all of us know, but our focus area, so it's basically 2 main areas. So it's clean energy and efficient use of natural resources. Here what you can see, so it's 4 main areas. So it's energy production, energy storage, energy efficiency, this sort of things, new materials and recycling, and clean water and air. And I've put here a few examples from our portfolio, and actually we have 3 of our portfolio companies here in London. There's one presenting, actually it's my colleague Feodor who's pitching that because the CEO couldn't make it over here because of other commitments that came up. But there's 2 more tomorrow. There's Aurelia Turbines, and then there's Sansox. So as said, we're up in Finland, but we invest companies Nordic-wide in the Baltic Sea area. So also the Baltic states, we get a fair amount of deal flow also from German-speaking areas, but we really concentrate on the Nordic markets. This is how we've tried to show what we have in the portfolio right now. So here on the left side, we've sort of mapped the companies, the stage where they are, R&D, finalizing the market models. So basically, the business model is still finding its final form, and then the growth company stage. Out of these, and then these 4 different focus areas that we have. So you can see that we have companies pretty much in every stage of the development, and also sort of in all of these 4 sectors. But as you see, energy storage, quality transfer, and efficiency, that's sort of our main area. And that's just some of the criteria that doesn't really differ that much from any other VC out there. And just to sort of show you what we have at the moment. So there's 13 companies, 3 are pitching here over these 2 days. And I'm going to do a quick, just sort of a run so that you see 5 of these companies. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on each one of these. So you can just see the variety of what can you find under a Nordic early stage investors portfolio. So there was another company here earlier today, but there's been so many presentations that now I forget which one it was. And I think Jan was saying that this is a company that, when you do sort of when you come from Europe and sort of access the US market, we all know that that's not sort of an easy thing to do. I mean, you can sort of go over and set up shop, but actually to do in a successful fashion is not very easy. But here's one example. This is a company where we invested already back in 2010. So this has been in our portfolio quite some time. These days they're called Swap.com. They acquired their competitor from the US and moved the whole operation to the US. And it's actually the largest kids online consignment store that there is. They growing like crazy. If you look at sort of the bars here in the picture, you cannot sort of see actually sort of their months. We actually somewhere here right now. So it's 18 months ago that they launched in the US. It grows about between 20 to 30% per month. Well, not going to say much more about that, but go and check it out, swap.com. But it's a good example of this, that they operated in Germany, UK, and Finland. And they were getting along, but it was not sort of a great success. They moved the whole operation to the US, tweaked the model a bit, and sort of found their sweet spot. Then something completely else. These are renewable energy islands. So this is renewably produced heat. So this is district heating produced in distributed fashion. And just to say shortly about this is something that the utilities absolutely love. There's been many presentations here from various companies which are emphasizing the fact that the utilities, they see the business model changing, but they want to retain the customers. And what they do is that they offer their customers are utilities. So they build these renewable energy islands producing heat for, say, 50 households or so, and they sell that heat to the utility, which sells it further to the end customers. So the utility is able to retain the customers, but they don't need to extend their centrally produced district heating network anymore from a central location. So they have now teamed up with one Finnish utility who's basically said that we will fund each and every site that you come across. So this is something that both the utilities love and the communities love. Nuuka, those of us here that are from the Nordics know from the name. Nuuka means that you pinching your pennies. So this is pinching the pennies for owners of real estate portfolios. So anybody who has many buildings, tens of buildings or hundreds of buildings in their portfolio. And so this is a software company going with the SaaS model and targets real estate funds and the, as I said, large pool of building owners. And what they do is that they concentrate solely on the office building markets, so not the residential market at all. And because like here, okay, this is maybe not a good example because here probably every data piece is tracked and controlled. But this is not true for many of the buildings out there. There's the latest top-of-the-art automation equipment there, but nobody's really utilizing the data. And there's, you may have Schneider's equipment or you may have ABB's equipment. They sell their software to go with it. But what Nuuka does is doesn't matter whose equipment is out there, but they're able to sort of suck the data and show what's actually happening in your building and how could you drive it better. Then we have something bit different, also where they consider it as a market, and that is something that listening to the presentations today, we all hear that emerging markets and developing countries, this is where the future growth. I mean, there was the presentation. One of the earliest presentations today was showing where's the growth happening? That's happening in Asia. That's happening in Africa, but most of the companies presenting here, I mean, we're solving sort of the Western problems, so to say. But what Nordics is doing, they're going after the developing countries. So their customers are in places like Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, Nepal. So this is where they've delivered. And their product, you can see, these are the yellow sort of cabinets here. And the reason actually why we invested in this company, first of all, they have a great product, but and sort of an interesting market from our perspective. But this is sort of the lesson learned. One of our partners, he ran an investment company concentrating on cleantech even before Cleantech Invest came around. And he was invested in wind turbine manufacturer and so forth. And when just looking at how that market developed, the guys that were making money in that business, sort of technology providers, they were the ones that were building gears. So they were delivering something that each one of the turbine manufacturers needed. And that's sort of the idea here as well, that whoever is developing a project, whether it's with PV, whether it's with small scale wind, whether it's biogas, you need these sort of cabinets. Alrighty, and then just two more. So Hurricane, that's a software algorithm company. It goes way too technical on to me. I mean, this is really basically mathematics. The algorithm that it optimizes how packages are routed, how searches are made from memory and so forth. But basically, what they can do, with their algorithm, huge savings can be made in the data centers and with routing. Their algorithm is now shipping with one of Ericsson's new router products, and they're doing really good progress in this area. Sophie Filtration, it's a water filtration company, and working in the area of mines and metallurgy and so forth. So as you can see, so we have many very different type of companies, but what's sort of common to them, they are based in the Nordic countries. Their markets are way outside of the Nordic borders. They're all early stage companies. And if any one of these, or please visit our website, all our portfolio companies are there. So if you see a company that you feel like, okay, I could cooperate with this company, either in my home market or in the Nordic markets, or this sounds like an interesting company from acquisition perspective or investment perspective, come and talk to me or my colleague Feodor. Alrighty, thanks.
Great, Tarja. Thank you very much.